What's up, Football Daily? Today we have 10 players who sparked outrage by trying to leave their club, with some of them succeeding and some of them not. Let's get on with it. 10. Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez may only have been at Liverpool for 4 years, but his magnificent 2013-14 campaign, where 31 goals and 12 assists almost propelled the Reds to an unlikely title, granted him legendary status at Anfield. However, that famous season may never have happened had the Uruguayan maestro got his wish. In the summer of 2013, Suarez looked like he was on his way out of Anfield. First, he publicly expressed interest in a move to Real Madrid and a desire to leave England, where he felt the media had treated him unfairly. And 2 months later, when Arsenal came calling, the former Ajax man took aim at Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers, telling 2 British newspapers that he'd had the opportunity to leave the club the previous summer, but had stayed on the understanding that if the Reds failed to qualify for the Champions League, he'd be allowed to leave, with the side finishing 7th despite him scoring 23 goals. But following a farcical attempt by the Gunners to trigger a supposed £40 million release clause in Suarez's contract, he eventually decided to stay on Merseyside, getting his dream move to FC Barcelona the following summer. 9. Sergio Ramos. It's difficult to say for sure whether Sergio Ramos has ever really wanted to leave Real Madrid, because every time the Los Blancos skipper has seemingly threatened to pack his bags, it has always ended in a contract dispute being settled. Nevertheless, had his wage demands over the years not been met, he may well have left the Bernabeu by now. The most famous episode took place in the summer of 2015, when it appeared the legendary defender was nearing a move to Man United. With Ramos and Real at loggerheads over his desired €10 million a year salary, the English club stepped up their pursuit of the Spaniard, offering the club €40 million and reportedly preparing a contract worth $12 million a year for the player. However, as the media frenzy around the potential move reached its peak, with multiple outlets claiming Ramos was keen on a move to Old Trafford, the club met his demands, and he penned a new 5-year deal. But fast forward to January 2021 and Ramos is once again at a stalemate with Real over renewing his contract, and with just months left on his deal is able to negotiate with other clubs. If you're watching this further down the line, the World Cup winner will either be at a new club for the first time in over 15 years, perhaps PSG, or enjoying a new pay packet in Spain. 8. Papu Gomez. If you're watching this video as it comes out, this saga has just come to a close, with Papu Gomez having sealed a move to Sevilla. The defining figure of Atalanta's rise to prominence in the last few years, Gomez's time in Bergamo met an ugly end. The Argentinian forward, who captained La Dea to consecutive third-place finishes in Serie A, had a major falling out with manager Gianpiero Gasperini at the end of 2020, with Italian outlets reporting a physical incident between the two in the dressing room at the interval of the club's Champions League tie with Midtjylland. Gomez had also allegedly asked for a free transfer away from the club, sparking interest from rivals Milan and Inter, with Atalanta instead holding out for a fee from Sevilla. Gasperini said he'd axed Gomez from the squad because he wasn't adapting to changes, with Gomez telling the fans, "When I leave, you will know the truth about everything." In any case, it's a sad way to see the 32-year-old's illustrious 7-year career with La Dea come to a close. 7. Steven Gerrard. By the time Steven Gerrard ended his Liverpool career in 2015, he was the club's longest-serving captain, and was even considered by many fans to be the greatest player to have ever pulled on the red jersey. So it seems unfathomable that his time on Merseyside could have been cut short 10 years earlier. But in the summer of 2005, just weeks after leading the club to its 5th European Cup, it looked like Gerrard had played his final game for Liverpool. Tempted by the lure of Chelsea, the biggest spending club in world football at the time, and one which looked set for domestic and European dominance under superstar manager Jose Mourinho, the Reds captain handed in a transfer request, and it was expected his club would accept a £35 million offer from the Blues, a fee which would have made Gerrard the 3rd most expensive player in history at the time. Having rejected a £100,000 a week offer from the club, Gerrard's decision to leave sparked anger among die-hard Reds, with one group even burning a shirt bearing his name outside Anfield. The player later described his transfer request as a hand grenade rolled into the Liverpool boardroom, but at the final hour he made a U-turn, ringing club CEO Rick Parry to confirm he wanted to stay. His decision ultimately saw him miss out on the Premier League title he craved, but cemented his place as the most loved man on Merseyside. 6. Alan Shearer. Loved at least as much in Newcastle as Gerrard is in Liverpool, many Magpies fans still refer to Alan Shearer as God. However, after falling out with former teammate Michael Owen, the public bore witness to claims that the legendary striker wasn't as loyal to the Toon as many thought he was. In a Twitter spat following the release of his autobiography, Owen said Shearer was inches away from signing for Liverpool after Sir Bobby Robson put him on the bench, adding that he tried everything to get out. And these claims are not totally unfounded. In 2005, Phil Thompson, who had been assistant manager to Gerard Houllier at Liverpool, revealed the club had tried to sign Shearer 2 years earlier, and that the veteran was keen on the move. While the striker was also in a contract dispute of his own, something which was finally resolved, Thompson also revealed that Houllier had spoken to Shearer personally about the proposed move, and that the player later rang them to confirm that he had not just been using them to get a new deal at St James's Park. Shearer would spend another 3 seasons with the Magpies before retiring, ending his career as the club's all-time top scorer. 5. Patrick Vieira. Making over 400 appearances across a 9-year spell with Arsenal, Patrick Vieira won 3 Premier League titles and 4 FA Cups with the Gunners, captaining Arsene Wenger's side in their famous Invincibles campaign of 2003-04. But by that stage, the Frenchman had already made clear on multiple occasions that he wouldn't be staying at Highbury for life. In 2000, Vieira expressed interest in returning to Serie A, suggesting that after 4 years in London, it was time for a change. Then the following summer, after the Gunners finished 10 points off Premier League champions Man United, Vieira's agent Mark Roger held meetings with Juventus, Real Madrid and even the Red Devils. Vieira told Wenger he wanted to leave and publicly criticised the club's transfer policy, seeing it as out of line with his ambition to win silverware. In his own words, "I do not see Arsenal finishing in the top 5 in the league. Comparing us to the big clubs in Europe is quite ridiculous." However, within weeks, Wenger made a big statement by signing Sol Campbell from rivals Tottenham, and Vieira soon confirmed he was staying at the club. The Gunners went on to win a league and cup double that season, and the midfielder eventually left in 2005 as an undoubted club legend. 4. Wayne Rooney. Another player who threatened to leave his club over a perceived lack of ambition, Wayne Rooney's Man United career seemed all but over in October 2010, when the English striker released a statement saying he would not be signing a new contract at Old Trafford following a meeting with club CEO David Gill. Annoyed by the club's failure to attract world-class talent following the sale of Cristiano Ronaldo a year earlier, and with reports of a falling out with manager Sir Alex Ferguson, rumours were circulating that Rooney would join cross-city rivals Man City. The player later denied this, saying that Real Madrid and Barcelona were his realistic options, but that didn't stop a group of disgruntled fans gathering outside his Cheshire home to protest. By which point the striker says he had already gone back on his decision and had signed a new contract with the club in private. England's all-time top scorer would be tempted away again 3 years later, this time by Jose Mourinho at Chelsea, but it wasn't until 2017 that he would finally leave Old Trafford, with the Portuguese manager facilitating his move back to boyhood club Everton. 3. Cristiano Ronaldo. Wayne Rooney's defining strike partner in Manchester, Cristiano Ronaldo forged a near telepathic understanding with the English forward during the pair's time together at Old Trafford. But it was a relationship which may have never fully blossomed had Ronaldo's proposed move away from the club materialised in 2006. That summer, CR7 confirmed he had spoken with one of Real Madrid's presidential hopefuls about the possibility of signing for Los Blancos, and following an incident with Rooney at the World Cup, in which Ronaldo appeared to help his United teammate get sent off in Portugal's victory over England, it looked like his fate was sealed. Soon after, Ronaldo said the circumstances are not right to keep playing in Manchester, going on to state that he felt he hadn't been supported by the Man United hierarchy and was set on moving to Madrid or Barcelona. However, having renewed his contract the previous year, United stood firm in insisting he wasn't for sale, and it was instead Ruud van Nistelrooy who was let go to Real. Ronaldo and Rooney soon made up and fired United to the first of 3 consecutive Premier League crowns the following season. 2. Lionel Messi. We covered Lionel Messi in a similar video about One Club Men last May, but a lot has happened since then. In the summer of 2020, Messi came closer than ever before to leaving Barcelona after what was the club's most disappointing season in recent memory. The Barca captain, who registered more goal involvements than anyone else in Europe despite his side winning nothing in 2019-20, decided that he was finally ready for a new challenge, i.e. linking back up with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. And he was sure he'd be able to exercise a generous release clause in his contract that stipulated he could leave the Camp Nou for free at the end of any given season, as long as he gave the club notice in the month of May. However, with the postponement of the 1920 campaign, the 10th of June deadline written into Messi's exit clause had surpassed, leading the club to block the Argentinian's proposed move away and insist on any suitor meeting his €700 million release clause. Messi saw this as a betrayal from club president Josep Bartomeu, openly criticising him and the club in the press, and the crisis eventually saw Barca's head honcho resign in October 2020. And as this video goes out, Messi is still to sign a new contract with the Blaugrana. 1. Diego Maradona. One of football's greatest ever love stories, Diego Maradona's affair with Napoli ended in tragic circumstances, with the Argentinian great leaving for Sevilla in 1992 after serving a 15-month drugs ban. But he could have left the San Paolo on a high. After leading the club to UEFA Cup glory in 1989, Maradona stated his desire to bring his glorious stint in Naples to an end, and later revealed that Marseille were lining up an offer to take him to France and double his wages. The player looked to be on his way, having been told by club president Corrado Fellaino that he'd be allowed to leave if the Partenope won the UEFA Cup. However, Fellaino went back on his word and Maradona was forced to stay in Italy. He won another Serie A title the following season, even netting his highest goal tally in the Italian top flight, but his life in Naples soon became more defined by his partying, addiction and ties to the city's drug gangs than for what he did on the pitch. However, he remained a godlike figure in the city long after his eventual departure, with the club retiring the number 10 jersey in his honour in 2000 and renaming their stadium after him following his tragic death 20 years later. So those were our 10 club legends who tried to leave, but do you have any suggestions of your own? Get at us in the comments below and who knows, we may do a part 2. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a like and of course subscribe to Football Daily if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.